What's up, y'all? How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing today, man? Let's let everybody get in real quick. I need to clean my laptop screen. My shit is dirty as fuck. If I had something to clean it with. What's up, y'all? What's going on? We're going to talk week 3 NFL in this one. We're going to break it down. We're going to talk about week 3, the main slate, and then we're going to talk about the Thursday slate too. Victor, what's up, man? What's up, Kyle? What's going on, y'all? How's everybody doing? We'll let everybody get in. Normally I'm doing box breaks at this time, but, Henry, you're going to do any breaks soon, brother? I have one up on the site right now that we can do as soon as I'm done with this. Let me see if I got the box over here somewhere. Let me see. Yeah. This is on the site, gldbreaks.com. I think we got like 6 spots left. I'll do that if we fill it by the time I'm done here. What's up, y'all? How's everybody doing? All right, so the live show today, we're pretty much just going to break down week 3, man. We're going to talk all the plays that we like, whatever. We're going to do kind of a midweek breakdown. I know a lot of y'all are probably going to want to just focus mainly on Thursday night because, that makes sense. Thursday slate is tomorrow. I'll still put out a video kind of giving out my core for Thursday's showdown, and we'll get into that. I'll post that in the morning. But for right now, we'll just kind of go over plays, have a little live show. Y'all can ask whatever questions you have for me, and, we'll go from there. Let everybody get in. What's up, y'all? It's been a long time since I've been live like this. It's been a long time, so let's let everybody get in, and then we'll start talking it out. You guys know how my live shows go. I pretty much answer questions on here. I don't talk about what I want to talk about. I pretty much just answer whatever y'all got going on. What's good, my boy? Goat. What's up, man? I played a tournament and scored 133 plus all on your show. Been cashing. That's what's up, man. Ryan, what's up? Henry, what's up? What's going on, y'all? Victor, what's up? Kyle, what's up, y'all? All right, so week 3, Thursday night showdown. Let's go ahead and start off with Thursday night showdown. My guy, this is my first time tuning into live. What's up, Johnson? Yeah, man, I haven't done a live show where I'm actually like on camera for a good little bit. But yeah, and we do have a box break available that I can do after this, but I'll just have to come on after if we fill it up. All right, so Thursday night showdown. First and foremost, honestly, it shouldn't be too much of a surprise. I think McCaffrey's locked at captain, like Goat just said in the chat. I think that, McCaffrey's just too much of a beast. He's going to be big in the game plan, regardless of how this game script goes. He's going to be a big part of it. So if they get up big, he's going to get a lot of carries. If they're down big, he's going to get a ton of targets. So McCaffrey, in my opinion, is locked in. We have good value on this Thursday slate as well. That should make it easy to make that happen. Hell yeah, I'm down for a box break. Yeah, it's on the site right now. We only got 6 spots left, and we'll do it after I get off this live. All right. Anybody have questions on the slate? So in my opinion, yes, I like McCaffrey the most locked at captain. We do have some good value, like I talked about. We might have Amendola out. Let me see if I can get an update on him real quick. I haven't looked at it. Any interest in Houston's cheap wide receiver, Conley and Miller? Of course. Yeah. So that's where the value is on the Houston receiving side. Is definitely where the value is going to be. Really like Conley. He played a good snap count. Let me refresh my memory on that. 1 second. His snap count. Let me pull up Conley's snap count real quick. I believe he was like second on the team, something crazy like that. Right behind Brandon Cooks. I think Conley was right there behind him on the snap count for week 2 for Houston. So, yeah, that's great. Obviously, they're changing quarterback. I'm fine with playing that quarterback too. His price is low. So I'm down with playing the quarterback too, to be honest with you. So let me pull up that snap count for you because this is the interesting thing that I saw earlier. Okay. Conley was second on the team in offensive snap rate. 90% of offensive snaps, Conley was out there. 92% for Brandon Cooks. And I believe Danny Amendola might be missing. Like I said, let me pull that up real quick. Danny Amendola might be missing that. I believe he's doubtful. So with Danny Amendola doubtful, yeah, there's great value on this side. So, yeah, Roberts, Conley, these guys are going to be solid options for sure. Who playing quarterback for Houston? The quarterback for Houston is going to be what was his fucking name? I'm blanking on it right now. Let me pull it up. What was his damn name? Taking over for the fucker. I like him too. Honestly, in a situation where Houston's going to be behind and playing catch up, I like the Houston quarterback. It doesn't matter who it is, honestly. I mean, I'm down with it regardless. Let me pull that up for you real quick. I'm blanking on his name right now. I've literally been looking at it for a lot of the day too. Davis Mills. Davis Mills. Alexa, play Way Too Sexy by Drake. I have a Google in here, so Alexa's not going to listen. I got a Google Play in here. And if I play any copyrighted music, they're going to kick my ass off YouTube. Best option, cheap player. That would probably be the receiver we were talking about earlier, Conley. Probably Conley. Mark Ingram, I don't have a ton of interest in Mark Ingram, man, because the game script doesn't really match up great for Mark Ingram. You don't really want Mark Ingram in a situation where they're going to be behind a lot. You know what I mean? If they're going to be behind big, you don't really want much Mark Ingram. If they're going to be ahead, then yeah, Mark Ingram gets some good touches. And his snap count's not been very good either. Who's playing quarterback? Already answered that. DJ Moore or Robbie? Or which pass catcher are you targeting? DJ Moore or Robbie Anderson? So I've gone more Robbie Anderson than DJ Moore, just straight up, mainly off of the fact that it's a much different price. Robbie Anderson's 7.8. DJ Moore's 10.8. Brandon Cook's 10K. Robbie Anderson's been the guy that I've played the most of at 7.8 because of that price. Keep it up, Cam. What's up, Henry? I was kidding, man. A rare occasion we get the face cam. Yeah, man. I'm not normally on here like that. Amendola has been officially ruled out. So, yeah. The cheap receivers for Detroit are going to be awesome. For Houston are going to be awesome plays. So, Chris Conley, Anthony Miller are fantastic options. If you have the money, Brandon Cooks is going to be great. He's going to get a ton of targets. But, yeah, Chris Conley at 1.6, almost locked. So, the value is on the Houston receiving side for sure. For sure. Heard anything about that quarterback? He just throws picks all the time. I mean, honestly, in this position, it doesn't really matter too much. At the price tag that he is right now, I mean, his price tag on this slate is less than you normally see out of a quarterback on Showdowns, 8.4. So with him being 8.4 and the game script being the fact that he's going to be down big most of the game, because this Carolina squad's solid and this Carolina defense is solid. So, yes, there could be a scenario where Carolina just beats the brakes off of him. He's not able to do anything. But I like some garbage time potential for Davis Mills. I think he'll have some garbage time points, and he should get enough to what we would need. I'm not playing him in captain, but I still like it. Tom said, Cap, what's up, man? What's Cap, Tom Bravo? Yo, NFL live stream, G. Yes, sir, Travis. Yes, sir. I've been wanting to come on here and talk to you guys like this. I've been wanting to come and do it, but I just haven't had time. What else we got? So, yeah, pretty much on the Showdown slate, we're wanting to go the cheap wide receivers of Houston. And then you're going to obviously want Christian McCaffrey captain. And then you just pretty much play with it. If you can afford Brandon Cooks, if I had to prioritize, I'd probably put Brandon Cooks, even though he's got a tough quarterback throwing him the ball and he's getting a downgraded quarterback. Brandon Cooks is one of my higher guys that I enjoy because of the situation that is going to be here. Because that you're going to be behind. The game script is great. Game script is a big thing that I like to predict when it comes to Showdowns because, I mean, that's a big part of it. If you can predict the game script, you're already in, and it ends up turning out that way, you can be in a good position for sure. Panthers D for captain or flex. That's an interesting play. How much is that Panthers D? Let me see. Panthers defense tomorrow is 6-2. They have the potential to put up some big-time points. They could put an actual stud player point type of performance up. But drop a like down below if you haven't already, by the way. Yeah, so they could put up a good performance, obviously, with this quarterback behind the helm. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I understand it. Let me go ahead and say that right now. I understand the Carolina Panthers D option. Not for captain, in my opinion. I won't have much him captain because McCaffrey's my fucking captain. I'm not looking anywhere else. McCaffrey's my captain. But yeah, the Panthers D is a little bit much. But for GPPs, if you're playing multiple lineups, then I can understand going Panthers D at captain. Just because to get difference is going to be a low-owned way to go. But most of the time with my builds and how I like to play things, I like to go a 4-2 stack most times. So I'll either have 4 Houston or 4 Carolina and then run back with the other team, 2 players from the other team. So a lot of times I'll do 4 from the underdog because at least if I expect that underdog to be behind, I'll play 4 from that underdog because I expect them to throw a lot in garbage time at least and have to, do a lot offensively to try to keep up. So I'll go 4 from the losing team, 2 for the big team. So you could go Darnold, McCaffrey, and then on the other side go all Houston offense, or you could switch it up. You could do it the other way. You could go 4 Carolina, 2 Houston. It doesn't matter. But yeah, 4-2 is normally my strategy when it comes to these slates. Sometimes I'll do like a 3-3 if I'm trying to be a little more less owned. But I don't know. Let me see. Danny, I don't think you have to fade. I would fade Houston defense. I'm not going to say you have to fade Carolina's defense because I understand them being in your mind. Is your FanDuel strategy build the same? Pretty much. I want to grab one of those cheap receivers that I like from Houston, and then with the FanDuel scoring, play it that way. David Johnson or Phillip Lindsay? David Johnson or Phillip Lindsay? Ooh, good question. Okay, so that's a tough one, man, because, David Johnson can catch passes. We've seen him do that before. Phillip Lindsay's really an explosive player, but he's 400 more than David Johnson. They're about even to me. Lindsay's more of the guy, like if your team's behind, you want to throw the ball to Lindsay and he's explosive, do big things, but he's 400 more than Johnson. I don't like that. Conley and Miller as bring back with 4 Panthers. That's completely fine with me. That sounds good, Hawk. Sub, hey, what's going on, man? I didn't see you. My bad. Big best bang for buck quarterback for week 3, Maine. All right, Maine slate, probably Daniel Jones. Let me look at Maine slate. Let me pull Maine slate up real quick if y'all want to talk a little Maine slate real quick. For the Maine slate, you're wanting like the biggest value play, point per dollar. Let me see. So if you're trying to spend down at quarterback, obviously Daniel Jones is a guy that sticks out to me. That's no surprise. Justin Fields, maybe. That Cleveland defense is decent, but I'm a believer in Justin Fields. I believe he could get a good floor on the ground. I'm not recommending you go heavy with him. You try to, wait and see approach on how he ends up doing. But Justin Fields, I'm a huge believer in him. I talk about him all the time when we do our box breaks and stuff like that. By the way, we do have a box to break tonight. NFL box, go to gldbreaks.com and grab a spot for that. And I'll get on and do that right after if we fill that up. Best quarterback or wide receiver stacked for the Maine slate. Probably Daniel Jones, Sterling Shepard, point per dollar wise. If you just want like straight up points wise, like if you have unlimited money and you can go anything, let's see. I think I'm a little hesitant on the Lamar Jackson, Hollywood Brown pairings because I believe this could be out of hand. This game could get out of control. It is in Detroit, so maybe it stays a little closer. So Lamar Jackson, Hollywood Brown, if you believe that game stays closer, because Hollywood Brown's a good price. He believes like 5'8", so it's not too bad. Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, Tom Brady, Mike Evans. If Antonio Brown misses, definitely Chris Godwin. If Antonio Brown misses, Mike Evans and Godwin are both going to get a bump. Obviously, them paired with Tom Brady would be solid as well. In what should be a great game against the Rams. Conley and Miller as bring back, already answered that. Indy has been lit up to start the season. That being said, A.J. Brown and or Julio Jones on the man slate. I think either one is fine. It looked like last game Julio Jones got a little bit of, started doing a little better. So I like the way Julio looked last week, so I'd probably side Julio slightly. Cooper Kupp has been a beast last couple of weeks. Yeah. Cooper Kupp has been ridiculous. I'm pretty much starting him until forever. He's locked forever. What else we got? What else do we got, y'all? But yeah, so on the main slate, I'm still loving where I'm at right now. I mean, nothing really has changed. I looked over, I spent a lot of time today looking over snap counts and stuff like that. to kind of, feel out how teams did week 2 with the snap count, how much that might have changed from week 1. Because I talked about it before. Week 1, a lot of teams will take it a little bit easier, you know what I mean, with their guys and maybe not push them too much because a lot of these starters and big names might not have played much in the preseason. So you don't really want to throw them out there and play 100% of snaps most times. Some teams did, but Tyson Williams is fine. So let me tell you what kind of made me backtrack a little bit on Tyson Williams and the thing that makes me worry about it a little bit. So the matchup is fantastic, don't get me wrong. But the only issue here that is bothering me is the snap count. All right, he only played 49% of the offensive snaps, almost completely split it with Latavius Murray. Latavius Murray got 36, Tyson Williams got 49. So Tyson Williams obviously is getting more snaps in the offense, but Latavius Murray is getting too many snaps, and for Tyson to be priced where he is, for him to be getting less than half the offensive snaps, I don't love that. You know what I mean? Think Pitts can break out against the Giants? I believe so. I'm a little hesitant on playing any Atlanta right now just because they just haven't been clicking very well. I mean, they had a tough matchup, I get it, but Eckler against a very weak KC run defense, 100%. I love Austin Eckler. Eckler's another guy that I don't love his snap count, but the target share that he got in this last game was definitely encouraging. And anytime you see Eckler getting the amount of targets that he got this last game is what you normally expect out of him, then he's always in play if he's going to be getting those type of targets. So his snap count should raise up as we go with the weeks. Eckler should be getting more and more percentage of the snap count as we go, and he'll become more and more of an amazing play, especially on DraftKings where it's full point PPR. Thoughts on Swift? DeAndre Swift, man, he's a beast. I'm a huge fan of DeAndre Swift. Kind of disappointed on that last Thursday showdown. We still won. What was it, Monday? Monday night showdown. I thought I was being slick too. I put DeAndre Swift at captain. I had Aaron Jones, obviously, who went off. I had Devontae Adams, Aaron Rodgers. I had everybody else. DeAndre Swift could have really put us in takedown mode. And the team decides not to throw this dude the ball until the last drive of the game. The last drive of the game, he got a ton of points. The whole game, they didn't want to give him anything in the offense. And then all of a sudden, the final drive, 6 targets, something like that. If they would have played that way the whole time, which is what I expected, then it would have been crazy. DeAndre Swift, because of the fact that he gets involved in the pass game, because Detroit will be behind big, I believe he's an okay play, yes. What's his price? Let me check on Swift's price, though. DeAndre Swift is 5'8". DeAndre Swift is 5'8". Prices on Saquon is criminal. So I didn't talk much about Saquon in the first look lineup vid because I haven't been too happy with his snap count. But a bright part is week 2, he got a much higher snap count. It was very, very good to see. Saquon Barkley played a good bit of snaps, and that goes to tell me that he's feeling better and better as we go. I would expect over 90% snap count rate for him. Week 2, Saquon Barkley played last week. Let me pull it up. It's 88, I think. 84. Saquon Barkley played 84% of offensive snaps in week 2. I would expect that to go up to high 80s, maybe low 90s. And yes, against Atlanta, he's going to be a fine play. I think he's fine. Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Okay. So a lot of people are going to be going Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Now, the reason his price is as cheap as it is because it's matching his performance. I understand that he's underpriced. Completely understand that. He's priced pretty low. And, yes, he's in play. But temper your expectations a little bit there. I mean, he's not going to – I don't expect him to go out there and go crazy. He's not playing enough snaps in the offense to really go out there and go crazy. Let me pull that up real quick. Clyde Edwards-Helaire in week 2 played 65%. So the good part about this is he doesn't really have anybody on his heels pushing for offensive snaps, right? So he's going to play that 65%. The problem is that that's not very high. I don't really like guys who play that low offensive snap rate like that. Obviously, it should continue to go up, but it is a bright spot seeing Edwards-Helaire played 72 week 1, 60-some, whatever I said, week 2. It's just you never know. His price is good enough to where you can play him and hope for the best, but I think there's other ways that you could go, honestly, and you might not even need to pay the 4.8 for Clyde Edwards-Helaire with some of these wide receiver options you have in the mid-range. It's a rival game. He'll get in the end zone. Chase Edmonds, a sleeper pick versus Jacksonville. Chase Edmonds is a decent option to me because Arizona should stomp Jacksonville. So Chase Edmonds should get good run. Arizona stack more of a GPP or cash. More of a GPP because the game script's not really one that you want to target much Arizona offense of. Yes, they'll score easily because it's a great matchup. They'll score, but they're not going to have to, you prefer a tighter game. You know what I mean? You don't really want to play much of an offense if they're going to be blowing somebody out because at that point you have to hope that the reason they're blowing them out is because your guys performed. If it ends up being other people, then you're pretty screwed. Are there downtowns and downers hobby? Yes. That is the cool part about that. Yeah, GLD breaks, y'all. If we fill this up while I'm live, I'll go live after this. We'll break this open. Downtown ultra rare cards are in hobby. They are rare, so I don't know if they're in here, but I'll do a box break of those after this live show if we fill it up. So GLD breaks. I'll put that website right here if you want to get a division for that. GLDbreaks.com. There's the website right there. You can grab that. If we fill it up, I'll go live for that after. If not, then we'll wait. Cooks looks like a steal at 8-4. Cook looks like a steal at 8-4. Nice buy low spot for Seattle. So 8-4 is not cheap by any means, but Dalvin Cook's in a great spot. I've had him in multiple lines that I've built so far. I really, really, really like Dalvin Cook. I think he's great versus Seattle. Obviously, Derrick Henry just gashed them. So, yeah, he's a solid option for sure. How many spots are left? I believe there's 6, but I haven't checked. I haven't checked recently. I believe there was 6 last time I checked, though. Barkley is a lock on FanDuel for cash at 6K. I don't know about lock, but he's solid. I mean, he's right around the same price as he is on DK. Terrence Marshall, a sleeper pick for tomorrow. Okay, so Showdown. Terrence Marshall for Showdown. I like Terrence Marshall. I just haven't had a ton of him because I really like Robbie Anderson's price. And I've been having to, choose a side there. Robbie Anderson's price is way too cheap in my opinion. Way too cheap. Way too cheap. So the way that I like doing this Showdown for tomorrow is I like going Christian McCaffrey's my captain. And I'm going to make a video, y'all. I'm going to make a video covering my core for this, and I'll talk more about it in the video in the morning or whatever. But Christian McCaffrey, captain, and then take advantage of these Houston receiver prices, some of these super cheap ones, especially with Amendola being out too. A more lower owned route to go probably would be the opposite side. And instead of grabbing these super value, which I mean, honestly, Conley might be a value you play regardless. In a spot where they're going to be behind throwing a ton, Conley you might play regardless. But, maybe a 3-3 stack would be a lower owned option. But I think in every single version that I've made, Christian McCaffrey's been captain. And Bill, what's worse his takes for that tattoo on his hand? Good one, bro. Good one. But yeah, James White, a pivot off of Clyde Edwards-Helaire is okay. How did James White do? Let me see. James White's against New Orleans. New Orleans defense is solid. Thoughts on Roberts? Okay, so snap count. Let's look over the snap count for this game real quick. So let's check out Houston, obviously, because that's where the value will be. Let's check out wide receivers. The snap count for Houston in week 2, Amendola got 20% of offensive snaps. So he wasn't big in the offense. He wasn't like a huge focal point. Conley played 90%. That's why we've been talking about how amazing of a play he is at the price he is. Brandon Cooks might end up going lowish owned because of his price. I think Brandon Cooks is going to get a ton of targets. But yeah, Roberts played 36% week 2. Amendola is now out. So you're going to get some more Roberts, more Conley, even more Conley than you had before. So yeah, I do like Roberts. He's going to get a bump with that for sure. Which defenses you like this week on FanDuel? For the main slate on FanDuel, let me pull that up. I've pretty much been going with like there's like two, three defenses that I've been sticking with on both sites for the most part. Let's see. All right, so there's multiple different options. Obviously, I like the options where it's taking advantage of injuries. You could go Cleveland Browns against the rookie Justin Fields if you think he struggles. I'm completely fine with that. Let me see. Same defense that I went in the first look lineup. Obviously, I still love those guys. Good, solid matchup with them, especially with the backup being in there. But most of the time, I punt defenses. So if we're talking cheap punt defenses to punt, most of the time that's what I do. So if we're looking at cheap options, it's going to be as cheap as you can go on FanDuel at least. Let's see. All right, so I like Buffalo's price at 4-1. I like Cleveland at 4-2 going against Justin Fields. I like the Raiders at 4K going against Miami with Tua out. Yeah. So over on FanDuel, I like the Browns, the Raiders, the Broncos, those guys. Tua being out is definitely good for sure. The Broncos too much at 5K. The Broncos are a bit much. It just depends on lineup construction. If you have the money, sure. But yeah, Raiders I like. What do you think about Daniel Jones and the Giants wide receivers this week against your Falcons? I love them, Sean. First look lineup video that I dropped yesterday or a couple of days. I don't even know what day of the week it is. It's Wednesday. All right, so yeah, a couple of days ago. Daniel Jones and Sterling Shepard, I love them. So yeah, and Saquon Barkley too. Tua being out is definitely a bump to that defense facing them for sure. Titans D. What is that price over on FanDuel for the Titans? Let me see. Let me see what that price is for the Titans real quick. The Titans against the Colts, yeah, they're in play too at 4-5. At that price, I prefer like Buffalo Bills, Cleveland Browns, probably slightly more. At that price. Because there's multiple options on FanDuel that you can go with that are like that 4-2, 4-5 range. What else we got, y'all? About 5 more minutes, y'all. About 5 more minutes. What else y'all got for me? So yeah, Showdown should be. I'm loving the Showdown for tomorrow, man. Things just kind of come together well. I love how beautifully things just come together for Showdowns we've been dominating Showdowns. It's just something about the main slate, injury, last minute changes, like injury week 1 for me, right? For me personally, main slate, week 1 injury fucked me. Week 2. I had Cooper Kupp, would have easily cashed, took him out, switched him to CeeDee Lamb because I liked that game the most and I wanted to get more of a stack. Should have stayed with Kupp, but is what it is. I think the Broncos has a GPP at home again, Wilson. The Broncos are great at GPP. I like Broncos defense for GPP for sure. I think they're going to be lower owned. Because most of the time people don't pay up for the most expensive defense. So it's going to be the Bills, Browns, Raiders that are going to be probably the most played, and I understand them. I really like the Raiders. I think the Jets defense and GPP might be a solid choice. The Jets defense. The Jets is going against Denver? I think so. Yeah, if you want to spend down at 3-2. That's fine. Just depends on roster construction. If you need to spend down, then that's fine. Panthers D and Showdown. So, yeah, we talked about that a little bit earlier. I'm not against it. I haven't had the Panthers D in a ton of my lines, but I'm not against it. Just because having the Panthers D in there doesn't really correlate too great with the options that I've been building and the way that I'm feeling this game will go. I think this quarterback will be able to get in the end zone, and I think he's fine. And I like playing this quarterback at the price that he is in garbage time trying to play keep up. trying to play catch up. So I don't really like playing the Panthers D too much in the showdown for me personally with the way I'm expecting things to go. But that's what it comes down to. For showdowns, the most important thing and the biggest edge is if you're able to predict the game script right. Plain and simple. If you're able to predict the game script, predict how the game's going to play out right, then you're good. Like I expected Green Bay to get up. See, here's what I thought Monday. It didn't matter because we cashed regardless, but here's what I expected on Monday and the reason I built my line on Monday's showdown the way that I did, all right? So I ended up playing 3-3. I did a 3-3 stack. Most of the time I do 4-2, but I did a 3-3 stack. I did Aaron Rodgers paired up with Devontae Adams. I expected Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams to be the reason that Green Bay gets up early. Okay, so I expected them to connect early and often and them to get up early. All right. And then after they get up, I expected Aaron Jones to just dominate. I did not expect 4 touchdowns, but so I went Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams, and Aaron Jones with the way that I thought the game script was going to go. Get up with Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers, and then a ton of domination out of Aaron Jones second half. It ended up being total domination out of Aaron Jones, like period. And then I played Devontae Swift at captain trying to get like a lower owned edge that way because with Detroit trying to play catch up, I expected them to get dominated and them have to throw a lot garbage time and Devontae Swift to be a big benefactor of that. Unfortunately for us, or we would have got a takedown, they didn't use Devontae Swift in the pass game like that until the last drive. So, but he got some good points at the end, so that was pretty good. I almost never pay up for defense, like to save better overall. Same. The only time I'll pay up for defense is maybe sometimes on FanDuel just because I can because the pricing's a little better. But on DraftKings, a lot of times I'll punt. What do you think about a Herbert stack with either Hill, Tyler, or run back on FanDuel? I think it's fine. So if you're predicting the Chiefs to get up big on the Chargers and use a lot of run game to control the clock, then that's a good game script to go with. Because Clyde Edwards-Helaire will get a good usage in the offense, and then Herbert stacked up will have to, play catch up. So yeah, if that's the way you expect that game to go, I think that's okay. I'm okay with Clyde Edwards-Helaire because his price is a good price, y'all. Don't get me wrong. I don't want that to be misconstrued. I like Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He is cheap. So yeah, will I play him? Maybe. But I think there's other options out there as well that if I'm able to just not have to play a guy like Clyde Edwards-Helaire the way he's been playing, then I won't. If I don't feel like I have to. Maybe one more minute, y'all. Any last minute questions? Any last minute questions for your boy? Any showdown, main slate, whatever. I'll take some last minute questions real quick and then I'm going to head out. I'm going to start doing this every week. At least I'm going to try to come on here and talk to y'all. Why is the line only 7.5 for tomorrow? What do you mean, why is the line only 7.5? Kirk Jefferson and Thielen stack? Minnesota stack. Let me check out Minnesota. You're talking DraftKings, right? I guess on DraftKings, over on DraftKings, let me see. Yes. Yeah. Minnesota is one of the stacks that I like this week because Seattle's offense is amazing, and it's normally a lot of catch up by whoever they play against. So, yeah, Minnesota's offense I love. Backup quarterback in Carolina D is good. Should be higher. Backup QB in Carolina D is good. What do you mean? Are you talking about – I don't know what you're talking about. Who is the backup for Christian McCaffrey? All right, let me see who's getting the most snaps for Christian McCaffrey behind him. All right, behind Christian McCaffrey, it's Chuba Hubbard, the rookie. Chuba Hubbard, the rookie. I wouldn't get too much exposure to that, to be honest with you. Backup quarterback Carolina D is good. So I don't know how to answer that. Carolina's D is solid. And they could do well. I'm not going to say they're not. I think Carolina's defense could be a solid play. They could end up putting it on Houston and doing very, very well. That game plan and playing Carolina's D just hasn't been in a lot of my game plays because I like the Houston quarterback's price. And I've been playing a lot of that Houston quarterback's price, and I don't want to make lineups. I'm not going to make a bunch of lineups where I have that Houston's backup and then I have Carolina's D at the same time, because if my quarterback's doing well, Carolina's D might not be doing well and vice versa. So I don't really want to do that. The backup for Taylor, he's okay, I think, but we just haven't seen much of him. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I like the backup quarterback for Houston, Mills. I like him. Lamar should go off against Detroit. He easily reaches value in blowouts. I will never play certain plays because of blowouts. If the Ravens are out big, then someone had to get them there. Yeah, so that's part of the reason why I like Tyson Williams, because I expect a blowout in that game. But yeah, Detroit's defense is bad. And I don't necessarily – my gut tells me maybe that game's not much of a blowout. I think Baltimore will be up most of the game, but I don't know if they'll be up big. Because honestly, I know Detroit got beat pretty bad by Green Bay, but Jared Goff has not looked bad. He has not looked bad. He doesn't have a ton of weapons in that offense. But if they utilize Swift and what's the other dude's name? Whatever. If they utilize those running backs that they have, which are good pass catching running backs, they'll keep games much closer. If they utilize Swift more, the games will be much closer. Mark my words. So if I think that they might have learned their lesson maybe on Monday, I don't know, but we'll see. But yeah, Lamar Jackson should definitely go off. He should just run all over them. Running backs destroy Detroit, and Lamar Jackson is a quarterback / running back. He should destroy them. Lamar, Hollywood, Andrew stack. So you're going heavy in that game. I'm fine with it, honestly. I think, like I said, I think the game stays closer than a lot of people might predict it to. So yeah, Lamar, Hollywood, and Andrews. If you're really trying to GPP stack it up, yes. But if you're going to do that, you need to run back with Detroit. You need to run back with Swift, who's a big part of their offense. Run it back with somebody on that Detroit side if you do. Maybe a couple from Detroit side. See, that's the thing. If you're going to stack Lamar, Hollywood, and Andrews, you have to be pretty much prepared to play a couple Detroit. Plain and simple. And if you're not comfortable with playing a couple Detroit, don't do it. TJ Hawkinson could look good. So Hawkinson is the guy I would run it back with. So Lamar, Hollywood, Andrews, if you did a Baltimore stack, Lamar, Hollywood, and Andrews, if those are the three you want to go with, then running it back with Hawkinson and Swift makes sense because Swift is a big part of the pass game and Hawkinson's a big part of the pass game. I like both of those guys. Is McCaffrey 51 receiving yards over a prop lock? I believe so. He should get over 51 receiving yards, yes. The only question mark there is Carolina going to get up big and not have to throw up much to McCaffrey? But over 51 should. Darnold over 1.5. Darnold over 1.5. See, what worries me is McCaffrey vulturing that. Who's running the ball in San Fran? Would you consider starting them in GPP against Green Bay? Yeah, we're going to have to see what happens there, man. We've got some injury things to keep an eye on over there. Let's look and see what we got here. Let's see. We've got some stuff going on. Guys are banged up. They're struggling. Hasty? How's Hasty? Is Hasty healthy? I don't even know at this point. Let me see. How's Hasty? Let me see. I'm going to look at this, and then I'm going to get off. We've been on for a while. Any last-minute questions, go ahead and leave them, and I'll answer them when I get back. Let me see. All right, so I would believe Hasty unless Hasty's hurt. Hasty's out too, so yeah, just play the water boy. Who do you think is best cash quarterback GP? I haven't been worrying too much about that. I'll have to look into that San Francisco running back situation because I really have not been looking into that much. But yes, whoever it is, I would be interested in starting them in GPP against Green Bay, especially if they're good pass catching backs. But regardless, just out of how much they're going to have to be used in the offense, if there's nobody else, then they're going to be fine. I mean, all they have is Mitchell, Hasty, Cannon, and Sermon. Those are their running backs. Mitchell, Hasty, Cannon, and Sermon. Favorite quarterback wide receiver stack this week in NFL for Sunday? Daniel Jones and Sterling Shepard at this moment when it comes to salary-wise. All right, y'all. Thank you guys for joining me as always. I had fun going live once again, man. It's been a while since I've been live with y'all. Appreciate y'all joining me. Anybody in here, if y'all want to do a box break, I can get back on and do the box break if y'all want to, if we fill it up. I think there's like maybe 5 spots left of that box break. So whenever that fills, I'll go back on. If y'all want to go fill that right now, I'll be right back on and we'll break that box. If not, then whatever. I'm going to drop a video in the morning for the Showdown, kind of talking about it a little more. I pretty much touched everything that I love right now, but I'll talk about it a little bit more in the morning, and we'll see how it goes. All right, thank you guys for joining me as always, man. Y'all have a good night. Peace out.